Hello everyone, my name is Rebecca and welcome back to our blind playthrough of Blueprints. I am so excited to get into today, day 9. We had an incredible day. Incredible. I can't even pause long enough to give enough emphasis to that word. Incredible day, the last day. I have learned so much, and done so much, and achieved so much. The progress is just thick, deep, all of those things at once. So, on top of that, in between episodes, because of what we learned in the last episode, I have had another revelation. So let me tell you about this revelation. Because I got so many letters in, like the letters that come from the matching pictures like this. I got so many letters in the last day. So I was able to actually cover quite a lot of the map with rooms on one day. That was enough for me, as well as the other hints that we sort of got from particularly the study, very close to the end of the day. That was enough for me to go, okay, the very first thing I'm going to check before I do anything else with trying to work this out is to see, I suspected by that stage that actually I was getting the same, because we'd already seen it a couple of times as well. I suspected that the same letters were appearing in the same position on the board. And indeed, that was correct. Oh, look, we've got the foundation there now. Oh, when they said it doesn't reset, I thought they meant like something within the room didn't reset. But that's actually just, the foundation is just there now. Wow. I wonder if that's good. I hope so. I hope that's fine. Okay. Anyway, and so I had, I don't know, like 24 letters already basically associated with these things. And I started writing them out because they're kind of messy and hard to see in my full map where I've got other details about the room. So I started just writing them out. And then I started to realize a lot of them are definitely starting to make clear words, like 5-letter words. And indeed, I realized that a message is being written across this blueprint. So I had quite a lot of letters to go from our previous day, from day 8. And I started cross-checking that with some of the previous maps that I had. A lot of the letters were similar, so it was kind of hard to fill in too many of the gaps, but I did manage it. And particularly, I actually got a lot of hints from my first day, which was tricky because I had not made a proper map on the first day because I wasn't thinking about it at all. I just had scattered random notes from some of the rooms and not all of them. And of course, they weren't in letter form. They were like me going, road, forest, fish rod, it was in the hallway. So I actually had to go back to my video of day 1 and look at the map to find which rooms were associated with the gaps that I had in my existing partial message, rather, not my partial message, and just kind of bit by bit cross-check which pictures I had in those rooms. And I was able to do that. So I still don't have a full message here because I haven't been to these rooms up here. And so I have gaps in these words, but here's what I have. I also figured out a couple of them. So I figured out that the one in the study was chef and chief, and therefore the missing letter was I. That one just kind of, I was just looking at it, trying to make something of it, and it clicked because the only thing I had for this line was F here. And I was like, what is going to go with F? So that's all I've got. I've got if for this line. The next line down, I have COU, and I strongly suspect this is LD. I think this is, I think it's the best word the most likely word I can think will go here. And because we got a few extra letters on the blackboard in the study, 2 of them are L and D. So that would correspond with my missing letters. I think it's probably if something, and I don't know if it's going to be a 2-letter word or there's something in the antechamber as well. It does kind of sound like it could be if you could, right? But I don't know, because I can't quite make full sense of what I've got after this. So I've got if, ku, potentially could. Here I've got smal, S-M-A-L. I truly think this is an L as well, but I don't have a letter for this. So if you could small, maybe? Unless I've made a mistake there. Maybe it's smell. I don't know. Maybe I should double check that one. Then here I have G, something I can't make sense. The one I can't make sense of yet, which is mad. That's the sort of the dog tag with 10 on it and the coast. Is my question mark here, but it's otherwise TES. So I think, because the only thing that makes sense here to me is gates. There are gates in this game. It's the only word that makes sense to me. It's not goats or gites or goots or geets, is it? I think it's gates. So I think whatever that combination of pictures that I can't figure out yet, even with that, I think it's an A, and I still don't know what that bloody coast and dog tag combo is. So I think maybe it's something like if you could small gates, and then we get to, this is all clear. This one is all clear. I totally understand this, and it's an incredibly exciting message. 8 dates crack 8 safes. How crazy is that? So this is about how to crack the safes. So it is telling me that there are 8 safes and that dates are the key. 8 different dates are the key to cracking the safes. Because I can't make sense of these first ones quite yet, I'm not sure how important this message is. If it's something like small gates, I'm not sure if I'm missing something really obvious, but it's not really fully making sense to me. So that's still, I'm so close. I'm not fully clicking on what the relevance of this is, but I think it might be like if you could small gates, but that doesn't really make sense, does it? If you could smell gates? If you could smell gates? Let me just check what the A was for that. That was in the foyer. But I don't have notes of what the actual picture was. I could go back. So anyway, I'm partway there. I have enough information to know that this is about how to crack the safes, and it involves dates. And that there are 8 safes. I've only found 3, I think. So clearly there are some other hidden safes around the place. That's amazing. Anyway, so it makes me extra keen to be able to build some rooms up here. Yeah, wow. All right. So I think I'm going to start building on this side just to see how we go. Should I do bedroom or corridor? Bedroom. Let's do it. Nice to have a bedroom. We get some extra steps in. I don't really need to worry about too many of these because I'm pretty sure of the message, most of the message that I have now. So I'm pretty happy with that. Let's go on. Let's forge ahead and just see how we go in terms of going north. This might be a day where I just have a good crack at getting very far north again. Hallway would be ideal. Then again, chapel would also be pretty good. Well, actually, no, hallway will let us go east. So let's do that. Great. I love you, hallway. Love your work. Let's try this because going in this direction might let us get some items. Oh, it's my nook. None of these are ideal because it's going to close off the possibility of going one more south, but we could get that for items, for random items. The nook would be nice just for another possibility of going north, maybe. Yeah. You know what? Now that I'm looking at it, Huh. Now that I'm looking at it, I bet one of the safes is in the guest bedroom because look, it's got an extra kind of wall there. Well, I guess you can say that about a lot of places, right? So does the closet. So does the nook. Yeah, I don't know. I guess there's the possibility of hidden safes all over the place. I'm gonna do nook. I feel like it's nice to start off. I've just earned this permanent upgrade to get 2 keys, so let's oh. Hello? A discount coupon book. Save 1 coin on each purchase you make in the estate. What? I have never seen this. I have never seen this before. Interesting. Okay, and we've got cart and car because this is the position of T at the end of 8. Sweet. just confirming for myself. Nice. Yeah, wow. What a freaking revelation. What a revelation. I don't need to worry about the letters so much down the bottom here. They're all sorted, so maybe spare room. Let's just head north. Let's do it. Let's do what we can. Do what we can. Oh, we're a little closer to this thing. I haven't had a really good look outside this side. And this is also the beginning of the electricity pole there. Of the electricity lines. What is this? What is this thing here? Huh. I don't know. Let's keep going. Let's keep going and find it. Let's chase it. Well, chapel would be ideal here, and I don't have any coins to lose anyway. I'm sure that I would get gems from the parlor most likely, but chapel will let us go forward, so let's do that. That's just an ideal exit pattern. Okay, no coins, nothing on the seat. All right, north we go. Let's do our best. I guess, I can't do security. All right, so it's a dead end no matter what I do. That's okay. It was a good go. It was a good go. So what's going to be the most useful? Steps is nice, and of course there might be other items in the guest bedroom as well. There's definitely 2 items in the closet. Let's closet. I don't know. Oh, nice. So at least we've got a gem now. That's great. That's great. Hello, hidden safe. Hidden safe. I know that there's so many I haven't found, so could be anywhere. Wow, coupon book, eh? How about that? Okay, so now let's head back down to the chapel. Use a key. Thankfully, we're pretty keyed up. Thank you. Upgraded nook. Oh, not so good. Alright, that's a bit crappy. That's a bit crappy. In that case, could be really... Obviously, we get a nice set of items here. But the fact is, if I get that coin, I'm going to lose it immediately because I have to come back through the chapel. So we might as well not use it here. Let's use the commissary, even though we're using a gem. Because it just might be useful to have the capacity to buy things. So... Oh, my running shoes are there. That's right, I ordered them. Like, I ordered the ability to buy them, I guess. I don't have money for any of this yet, but good to keep in mind. And I can even get the magnifying glass if I want. If I click... Yeah, it just doesn't let me buy it. Fair enough. It's good to know, good to know. Good to know. I'm still... So, how far do I need to go to get to... I need these 6 here, really. And, you know, antechamber, but that's unlikely to happen. I need these 5, really. I need these 5. So I'm still a ways off. I'm still a ways off. Okay. There's no... I think I should check in here just in case, yeah? Because they seem like places where there might be... Yeah. Alright. Let's go through here, and if this works out, we don't have to go through the... Oh, well, I've got no money anyway, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, we might as well go here. Yeah, I don't have a gem anymore. I was actually hoping I might be able to buy gems in the commissary. Not that I could do it right now anyway. So... the gym actually just makes the most sense because it lets us go to the side there. So let's do that. And I mean, we're doing okay with steps. We're doing okay with steps. Do these all say the same thing? I think so. Yeah, people. Alright. I love the nice little touch of that squeak, that shoe squeak on the ground. Okay. I'm not having a good run for being able to reach the reach the areas that I'm after. Alright, no worries. No worries. Well, it's a dead end either way, so let's finally do the bunk room. Let's just make the most use of this opportunity. Ooh. It's a little guy. Hello. Hello, little one. That means you're trapped in an interdimensional weird room. Are you okay? I don't know if this is... You know, I don't know if I should be calling animal rights about this. Like... Oh, you're so darling. I just want to... I want to take it. So it's... Alright, it's got a little bunk bed. Isn't that... Oh, it runs on the wheel. It runs on the wheel. Ah. I wonder what its name is. And it has a bunk bed. Does that mean that there used to be another one in here? Oh, I hope not. That's a sad thought. I love you. I love you, little guy. I hope you're okay in there. God, I hope you're getting food and water and attention and love and all of that. Well, I have all of these letters, so that's fine. That's fine. So we've got some trophies. Stars with a planet at the top, like a Saturn-like planet at the top. That is an interesting lamp that kind of looks like a balance, doesn't it? A balance that's off. A drum. I thought that made a sound for a second there. No. What on earth is this? That's a toy gun. But why is there a log built into the wall? Okay, so they've got a little play campsite, or yeah, I don't know, maybe is that meant to be like a teepee? Oh. Today is a good day because Simon is at camp. Yes, this is exactly it. This is my brother. Simon is at camp and he has not as much fun as my friends. I will not have to share my toys, and I will not have to share my room, and I will not have to share my snacks. Having a younger brother, I'm the younger brother, is not as much fun as they told me it would be, but today will be a good day because he is at camp. Herbie is mean and really stupid, and today is a good day because I threw away his airplane. And that must be me? Or is this still him just using a different pen? Herbie. Herbie? Herbert. Threw away his airplane, that's interesting. So I guess he's talking about his granduncle. I also had more fun at camp than he has had in his entire life. Okay. Hey Pixel. As usual, he is doing mouse because it's getting towards his DINNER time. But it's not quite time yet. I wonder if maybe this isn't my brother. Maybe this is Herbert's twin brother. Maybe Herbert had a twin brother, and they are the red and the blue prince, in a sense. And maybe Herbert's brother was called Simon. Herbert is the older brother, and Simon is his younger brother. And Simon is writing in red. Simon threw away Herbert's airplane. And Simon had fun at camp. Today is a good day because I got my brother in trouble for reading my private journal without my permission and writing mean things in it too. Yeah. He also threw my model airplane in the bushes outside, but I got it back. And if he does it again, he will not get to go out to the park on Friday, and I will make sure he gets no presents for his birthday. I don't need any presents because I have my brother's book, because he won't stop writing about me, and today is a good day because I know he cries when he can't find his book even though he is older. He is a crybaby. Wow, so this is who we're named after. So there's two Simons. For sure, that's what it is. I think this is our granduncle's twin or maybe not twin brother. Herbert writes very neatly. I suppose that's true to what his personality seems like. And this one, yeah. The younger brother, Today is a good day because today my brother returns from college and I get to finally return to him the book I took from him a long, long time ago. Oh, are they older and like trying to make up? Hopefully you find it as hilarious as I do. I honestly have no idea how we survived sharing a room. All things being said, I wouldn't have it any other way. I would still rather have a sister. Congrats on the diploma and welcome home. Okay, so, typical kid-brother rivalry. And they, obviously have a good relationship as they get older. That is very interesting. So given that this one is here, it makes me think that this stuff probably is our granduncle's side. And maybe this is our granduncle's mouse? Oh, so darling, so cute. That said, I don't know. It feels like I would associate this stuff with the one writing in red, which was Simon, because it seems more like someone who's like got a pretend gun and things like that. Oh, banana. Nice, thank you. Huh. That, yeah. And this is like a tripod for a camera. I think these are... Oh, is that something I can take? No. Oh, 2 pawns. That's crazy. All right. back to some note-taking. So, bunk, bed. 2 pawns. Both of them are pawns in somebody else's game, maybe. That looks like an Atari. I grew up with one of those. My grandma had one at her house, and I played it a lot. Or like a ColecoVision, which I had one of those. That was my first game console. So we can't seem to... Radiator. We can't seem to interact. Yeah, I would guess that this stuff has more... seems to have more in common with everything that we've seen in this mansion. It seems to have more in common with Herbert Sinclair. Interest in cameras, interest in sort of technology and making. But that said, I mean, all of this is my assumption that this is stuff to do with him, because what if they both live together in this mansion, right? Camp Colonel. That certainly seems worth writing down. wonder if that means... I wonder actually if what that means is that the... like maybe the rowboat that we saw is associated with this room. I don't know. I'm still thinking about those connections. And then, yeah, this one over here has lots of books, you know, a puzzle. It seems to all be saying he's more intelligent. But then again, the notebook is here next to, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm typecasting too much. I'm stereotyping them. But he did go to college and get a diploma. And Simon, yeah, Herbert did, and Simon is welcoming him home. Yeah, go little guy. But I don't think there's anything right now that I can interact with, apart from that. I would like to be able to see up there, but I guess it doesn't matter. I guess if I can't do it, it doesn't matter. Feels like I should be able to take that torch, right? And then we've got the Trinsdale Mystery. And the turtles. The turtles of Vera. I should write all of this down. Trinsdale Mystery. Turtles of Vebra? I think it's a Vera. Vebra. So cool to see the old console there. Checkers, many other videos that are just too far away to read. Okay. Alright, that is incredibly useful. Wow. Maybe, so another Simon. My namesake. I feel like I'm probably a very different person. God, this east, this attempt to go east has not worked out. Anyway, that's all we can do is, yeah, head back down. Now, I don't have any money. Oh, I can't go that way. Don't have any money to buy anything yet, but I suppose we can come back here if we need to. This might be, we had an incredibly long day last time. We might have a short day this time, but that's fine. If that's all we get, that was an incredible piece of lore. Really, really interesting to get that insight into who the twins are, or who the brothers are. Okay, so we can't really do much here. So we could even just put the storeroom here. Might be a good place for it. Let's do it. We got key, we got gem, we got coin. And I say hi to Swimbird. Thank you. Okay, let's hope we... Oh, oh, not great. Not great. This is I have to do the observatory. This is a weird spot for the observatory. I guess it's still in the right place. Maybe it just stays in the right place from now on. Ooh. Oh, I got 3 steps. Cool. I'll take it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Maybe it matters that there's a compass down there. Maybe that's something that's to do with the position that you put this in, right? But I don't know... I don't know how to make that determination. I don't know. How do we got the map from this before. How do we get the map again? Was it just by putting it in a certain... Did I do something else to get the map? Oh, I didn't have time, I didn't have a reason to say this before, but I finally figured this one out. When it's coupled with the crowbar, it is pray, and the crowbar means pry. It just clicked. It just clicked when I was thinking about it. So, yeah, amazing. So that would make the letter A. I think it was because I reasoned that one of the letters as I was filling it out was probably A. Yeah, and I just went, hang on, yeah, of course. What if you take A out of pray? You get pry. I have no idea what I did here last time. I guess I did this a big bunch, and it feels like eventually I just got the map, right? Let's just see if we keep doing this for a while. Just had some sips of my tea while I was doing this. Surely it would have happened by now, right? Surely I didn't do it that long. Maybe it is actually when they match up. Or something like that. Oh man, I have no idea what the conditions were for this last time. I mean, this is more or less matched up, right? Where's that one that has a bit of a hooky bit? Oh, there, I saw it. Sort of here. Okay. What if I do this one a bunch? I don't know how I did this last time. I don't know what worked. Oh, Pixel, it's too early, Baba. Yeah. Alright. I don't know. I don't know. It's definitely not here. I don't know. There's nothing we can do here. Yeah. Alright. Okay. This might be very short because I don't have any gems. Let's do corridor just so we can get a bit further along. Hi, Baba. Hey, fluffy face. Not missing any coins, am I? Don't think so. Alright. Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a short run. Going in that direction is useless. That's not going to get us anywhere, so we have to do the dark room. I would love to get the stuff from the parlor. Yep, that's okay. I've seen all of this before, so it's fine. We can go through. Oh no. Well, I can't do that one anyway. This could be it. This could be it. Oh, yeah, this is it. The boiler is a dead room, a dead end. Fair enough. I mean, we had such a long run last time. I got no shovel. I got no money to buy a shovel. There's no shovel in the shop anyway. But I suppose the interesting thing for me to just remember about the boiler room is that the boiler room is necessary to power the machine in the lab. It doesn't matter for this run. This run is over. This run is over. But if nothing else, we learned a couple of things. Like, I got to, tell you about what I've learned about the message. I'm still not really sure how to use it, but I know that dates crack safes. And we finally got to see the bunk room, which I think gave us some amazing lore. I reckon our granduncle had a twin, and he was called Simon. And I don't know what that means for us. Alright, is there anything for me to do out here? I probably, because I put a coin in the fountain. Oh, well, I can still make a wish. Why not? I don't know what it's going to do, but I don't need this coin anyway, so... There you go. Guess it goes to the mountain. Or to my grand uncle's, imprisoned twin who's being kept down there at the bottom of the fountain. Something like that, right? I don't think there's any particular reason to go to the orchard, because all we do is turn off the... Yeah, I think that's it. I think we call it a day. This is a short one. Call it a day. Hey everyone, this is Rebecca, but Rebecca from a little bit in the future. We're still in the middle of this episode, but I have a few things to tell you. So first of all, because I was at a point where I finished the day, and because of, circumstances in my real life, I had to finish my recording session at that point. I had no other option. I otherwise would, do anything to keep playing this game, but I just had to finish. So I went, all right, cool. I'll come back to this episode the next time I'm able to play. That's all great. That was my intention, and therefore, here we are now. I'm ready to play the next half of the episode. But what has just happened is, you'll see that we are about to continue day 11. We just were on day 9. So what just happened is that I started this game up the first time, got the recording ready as I normally do, jumped into the game. I did a test as I always do. It was fine. But then when I actually jumped into the game, hit continue, started talking to you, it became apparent that actually there was no game audio then. And I long story short, because I could make this a long story, I'll avoid that. I couldn't fix it. I tried everything, and it was some kind of problem with the game, not with any other aspect. I tried and I tried and I tried, and I couldn't salvage it. And in the end, I just had to make the executive decision to quit out of the game, restart, and now the sound is back. Now I think we're good to go. The recording is going, fingers crossed. But it does mean that we've lost another day. So it's kind of unfortunate that, I don't even know if it matters. It doesn't, so far with what I know, it doesn't seem to have mattered when we lost day two, which I'm kind of guessing is probably not an uncommon experience, because I think a lot of people will variously get tripped up with the way that this game saves, and I totally understand I respect that this is the way that the game is set up. Honestly, it's fine. I just think it's just a choice, and it's a choice that leads to certain circumstances. And yeah, so let's jump in anyway. From what I know, I don't know if it has any circumstances, but everything that we do in the game is like that, right? So that's okay. I'm at peace with it. So it is what it is. It was either I continue recording the entire rest of the episode with no game sound, which I think, on balance is worse. Listen to how nice this is. Lovely. We need the sound. We need the sound with the game. Beautiful. Even though a lot of this game is quiet, the sound design is still really important. So let's do it. I think on balance, it's, we lose a day. So it is the next day for us. And the other thing to explain just before we get going is that because there's been a couple of days between essentially what I was playing in day 9, the first half of this episode, and now, of course, I've been thinking through the revelations, and I feel like yet again, in between episodes, I've had some realizations, and at the very least, I've come up with some theories. And so I've kind of got too many scrappy crazy notes all over the place. So I think a lot of them, they'll just come up as we go through. But I will say that because I was talking about the message, like the message that comes up as you start to identify the letters that are associated with each room, I explained before that like I felt fairly sure that that the message was, because I've got some missing letters, particularly at the top. I felt fairly sure that it was like if, and I don't have any of these ones, but I feel like it's probably you. And then what I have is COU blank blank. And I was so sure that that was could. It just, you know, the problems in these, for at least for me and probably for a lot of people, the problems for me in these puzzle games, like kind of the mistakes, like the kind of the, you know, like the long-term or the ongoing kind of, you know, mistakes that you can make in figuring things out a lot of the time, certainly for me, is usually at the root of it that I've made an incorrect assumption from the get-go, and I've just gone with it, and I've already done that, so that's fine. That's how these things go. But I've definitely already done that several times, you know, in this playthrough. I think that my assumption that this second word up here was could is wrong. I now think that was wrong. I was so sure of it that I didn't really think about it. I just kind of moved on. So what I thought I had was essentially, if you could small gates, 8 dates crack 8 safes. I think most of that is fine. I don't have all of small yet, but I do think it probably is small because I can't think of another word that has a different ending, you know, there. It's only the last L I'm missing. And I'm pretty sure that this word is gates because I've got G blank TES. I can't fit, you know, there's only the 5 vowels and a Y that you could possibly get here, and I can't think of anything else that would go there except an A. So I just think that's gates, and it would make sense. There are gates in this game, but yeah, this is the one I think I was making the biggest mistake in. It didn't make sense to me if you could small gates. You know, I was like, if you could smell gates, if you could, you know, like what am I getting wrong here? It doesn't make sense. It's this one. This one, I now think I thought about it and I went, what other word starts with COU? And I started going through the options and I landed on count. And I went, oh, of course, if you count small gates, 8 dates crack 8 safes. So now I think I'm going to say I feel like 95% sure that is what the message is, and that makes sense because I guess what it's saying is, I was thinking what it was saying essentially is that there were 8 safes around the mansion, and so far I've found 3 of them. I have some ideas about where some other ones might be. But I guess what it is actually saying is that there's some amount, like there's 8 things to crack with 8 different dates, but not all of them are safes. Some of them are small gates, whatever that means. You know, I don't know if it means like the little gates outside, like the apple orchard one. I mean, I wasn't thinking that we were cracking that with a date, to be honest. I just thought they're numbers, but it was like number, you know, / number. So that, you know, that could be a date of some kind. I just wasn't thinking about it that way. So maybe that's what it means. Maybe that is one of the small gates. So what I've done now in my notes is I've got a little list. I'm assuming that there are going to be 8 things I have to crack with dates. And I know that there are safes in the office, in the boudoir, in the study, because I've seen them. And I've got also a column for small gates. Let's just start. I've got a column for small gates now, and I've got orchard because I think maybe that's one of the small gates, but I'm not sure. So that's kind of, I think, the big thing that I've figured out. And I'll go over some other things as we move forward. In terms of my plans for today, I have to admit I don't have a grand plan because I kind of have so many goals at this stage. So there are so many things I'm thinking. So I'm going to kind of see how this day unfolds, and I think I'm going to start I think I'm going to, identify a goal as we go. I'm going to go parlor. Why the freaking hell not? Because I know I'm going to start with this game, and I might, oh no, okay. I thought I might get the magnifying glass, but no. I love having the magnifying glass because I reckon it's going to be useful for so many things. But at the very least, hopefully what we can get are a couple of gems. If I keep my head cool for box game. So there are 4 boxes in this room. Well, false, unless they mean some other kind of box, right? Like, I don't want to go head first into a big assumption here that makes me look foolish. Pray and pry. I'm so happy I know this one now. But let's say for now, it seems very false. There is only one room. No, sorry. There's only one room. Wouldn't that be a revelation in this game? You thought there were, what is it, like 46 rooms? No, there's only one room. There is only one box in this room. Oh, that's definitely wrong. The gems are in the true box. Oh, finally. Yeah, because the mistake I made one time with this game is that I picked the true box rather than identifying through the logic which is the box that would actually contain the gems or the prize. In this case, it's both of them, so that's nice. So the gems are in the true box. There's only one box in this room. That's wrong. There are 4 boxes in this room. That's wrong. I'm just double checking my logic because, so this is, the other 2 are definitely false. This is the true box. Therefore, the gems are in the true box. The true box says so. It's the true box. The gems are in this box. Yes. Thankfully. I mean, that wasn't a hard one, but at the same time, I've got to be afraid of my own brain. I've got to be afraid of my own confidence in this game. That will trip me up. Now, one of the things there's a couple of things that are starting to change about my relationship to this game and the way I'm taking notes. I don't think, and obviously this could be a big mistake, but with what I know, I don't think I'm going to make notes. I'm going to make a map of the day anymore because I feel like the main way that was useful for me was to get to this, whole mansion scale message using the letters from the 2 pictures in most of the rooms. I kind of feel like I have it now. So I'm not going to take notes in that way anymore. What I'm more focused on now are all of the various other bits and pieces, just, like bits of information that we learn, dates, names, and relationships. So I'm very interested in things like the relationships with the room, and between rooms, rooms that will impact other rooms, things that need to be done here or there, or suspicions that I have about particular rooms. So anyway, that's just to let you know that that's one of the kind of big things that I'm sort of changing in how I'm doing, in how I'm thinking about the rooms. Obviously, one big goal is to find these safes and the small gates, I guess, as well. The safes, I mean, I don't know how many there are going to end up being. I know I've found 3. I know that there must be some number less than 8. So it could be 7, it could be 6, it could be 5. I have some suspicions about some of the rooms, but in general, I'm also just going to I think I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to the rooms in that way, and just sort of think like, could this be a room with a safe in it? I've also mentioned that I'm taking notes on which rooms have which. Oh man, I've already just changed something about exactly what I was about to say mid-sentence. I'm taking notes about which rooms have chess pieces in them, and obviously which chess pieces. I've just noticed that the parlor, and I don't think I have it down. I don't. The parlor has a pawn, as many of them do. But I've noticed now that this one is a black pawn, and and so it's made me realize I have just been writing the type. I've just been writing the type of chess piece and not the color of it. But maybe I can't be sure now, but maybe what that means is that I've mainly encountered the white ones, and maybe this is the first black one I've encountered. So anyway, I've written down black pawn for this one. Okay. All right, let's go on. I would like to be able to, get high up in the ranks. I'd especially like to be able to get high up on the east side where I haven't been able to go yet. But I'm really just going to aim for more information, see rooms I haven't seen before, that sort of thing. Let's kind of just play, let's play. Let's see how it all pans out. That would stop us moving completely. That would stop us moving completely. I'm also noting, just one of the things that I'm noting is that it may be that where you see certain rooms, and this is really common, so it's not a big connection, I think, but where you see certain rooms that have extra wall area in them. And as I said, it's a lot of rooms that have extra wall area in them. Like the guest bedroom down the east side here has, an inset area of wall. Like maybe that's a place where safes could be. You know what I mean? But then again, it's obviously not indicative of a safe because so many rooms have this. It's just kind of part of how they change the shape of the room. Like the kitchen here has a bit at the top and a bit at the bottom, but it also might not be that at all. A safe might just be in the cupboard, right? And I know that in the what is it called? In the boudoir, that safe is, I don't think it's really in the wall. It's just there. Well, it's kind of inset into the wall, but like it's not hidden in the wall or anything. It's just there. So yeah. But in the office, it was sort of hidden in like a cupboard. Oh, yeah. In the study, it was sort of just out in the open, I think. So, yeah. Anyway, but it's just one of the many, many things I'm thinking of. Either way, let's do the kitchen. We haven't done much with the kitchen, and the kitchen will at least let us move forward a little bit. So we're using a gem here. I wonder what this sound is when you step into the kitchen. And I always think back to the first, what's his name? Azara. Oh no, my favorite guy. And I've temporarily forgotten his name. Azara, Alzara, of course, that's more magician-y, isn't it? Alzara. Alzara's first prediction or whatever, or future revelation to us, it mentioned explicitly, I wonder if we'll do anything with this at some stage. I'm just so suspicious of everything now. Like, this is what I mean, like my understanding, like my relationship to like kind of the way I'm understanding the language of this game now is changing. The perspective with which I'm viewing things is changing. And I'm now like, well, if I had an item, maybe that would be the condition for me to be able to use this to like weigh it or something. Yeah. Why is this here? Is there a cat? Looks like cat food. Could be dog food. So, we don't have any money, so we can't do anything here, but it's just nice to look at, isn't it? The lemon glazed salmon. That's the first thing we had in our first dining room that I didn't even eat because I thought maybe I would get an aquarium. Tomato soup. 5 steps for every red room in your house. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, this is what I love about this game. Like, it's not only that there's so many different kinds of puzzles in it, and I'm probably just scratching the surface, honestly. It's not only that there's all of this, intertwining entanglement between lore and the wider narrative and themes and game mechanics, like in a really, really well, fascinating and magical and well-designed way. It's also that the more that you learn it really shifts your perception of your environment. It shifts your goals. It shifts your, you look at these rooms, or you look at you change your whole approach to the game in really interesting ways. And I couldn't love that more, So that would cut us off. This would allow us to go into the corner, but that's it. Let's do the chapel again, just to give us some more possibilities. I know that I must be able to move this at some stage to be able to see behind it. This mysterious other, I'm assuming some kind of figure must be represented here. The Red Prince. I don't know. Either way, it's nice to be able to come into the chapel and not lose money. Are they giving us any money? Yep, that's white. I think if I go into a room and I notice it's, something like a chess piece I've already recorded is black. Great. Okay, well, the best thing to do in this corner is to use something like this that doesn't need to go anywhere anyway. Oh man, the music here in the chapel. I'm sort of like noticing everything anew now, and I'm now asking, what is this music telling me about this room, Yeah, let's do the utility closet. We may need it. Who knows? I would love to have another go at the indicator. I'd love to have another go at the indicator lights. That's cool. I'm not going to pay too much attention to the images anymore because I think I have, I have these letters, and I'm just going to pay attention to them if I manage to get up into the northeast corner where I don't have them. And it's really just to confirm my thinking. I'm just going to flip that on just to, I don't know if it does anything. What? I still don't know what happens if I flip this off. Keycard entry system. Is it a good idea to turn it? What I'm wondering about this, and what I haven't tried yet, because I've hardly had that keycard, and I've even less frequently had security doors. But what I'm thinking is, if I flip this, does it mean that I can just get into these doors? You know what I mean? Is it only a positive thing? Is it only a positive thing to turn this off? Maybe I don't really want to do it now because I don't know if there will be negative ramifications to it. And at the moment I've kind of done fine. Again, I haven't had an incident with not being able to get in a security door. Not from memory anyway. I might be wrong. Oh, okay. Well, going straight ahead would be best, so let's do spare room. Probably we won't get anything from here. I'm gonna try and be in some rooms a little bit more careful about seeing if I've got anything I can interact with, because I might have made assumptions in certain rooms that I couldn't, and those assumptions might be wrong. So I do want to I do want to question some of these things a little bit more especially now that I know about safes. Okay, the den in terms of exits would be ideal, and we would also get another gem. The garage. The garage would give us a lot of keys, which is great. And I suppose one thing I'm super interested is how we get out of the garage, because they've told us that we can go in the garage and access the west path, but I don't know how to open. I don't know how to open the thing. Open the, what do you call it? The the garage door, I suppose. I'm gonna go with den. Maybe, I don't know. I kind of just want more things, more opportunities. If I can, I think. Nice. No trunk. No trunk. Nice. All right. So... Am I crazy? Shouldn't that be moving? Hang on. Oh, it is. The hands are moving. Okay. But what about this little thing down the bottom? Shouldn't that be moving? The time is moving. What are these little... God, I'm seeing all of this stuff that I haven't looked at before. Oh man, you know what? That's got to mean that something... Of course, this I've literally never come up and looked at these things closely, but that must mean that in like, 10 seconds, the hands are going to be doing what this thing is saying here. It's saying pay attention to the hands making this V sign here, right? What the hell will I do though? What do you want me to do when that happens? It's about to happen and I feel like something matters, but I don't know what. I feel like this time matters. Or maybe it's not the time, maybe it's telling us something about the numbers here, right? Oh, this is a whole nother thing to wonder about now. I kind of want to like look around, but also be close to the clock in case I can, Here it comes. Of course, it might be the hands the other way around. It might be the minute hand and the... I'm like pressing the button. Go! Interact! Fire! Up here. Swan! Here? Like, look at this. A key goes here. Whatever it is, it's past. That one is moving. Ah, this is a golden pawn. Maybe I should note that down as well. Where are we? Den? Gold. Or yellow. Or is it just, it's just because there's a gold light over things. Yeah, whatever. I think that's probably what it is. Yeah, maybe it's the numbers, Maybe it's 11 and 1 is what those symbols are pointing out. But I certainly do feel like surely this should be moving, right? All right, I'm just gonna make a little note for myself and on the little page I have for the den. Okay. Something going on in this room. I'll be back. Something going on here, den. Don't think you can fool me. Let's continue north. Mail room. So that would be good because that would set off another delivery, and a delivery is great. But again, we wouldn't go further north. So let's... I am a little worried. Maybe I should be making more of these risky choices, rather than kind of making the same sorts of choices anymore. But whatever. Let's just go. All right. I find myself, and I'm not sure I know why. I maybe because of this message here, I feel suspicious about West Wing Hall. I'm going to be saying this a lot. I'm suspicious of everything, but I am suspicious of West Wing Hall. It has a date, June 15th, 1983. They're talking about closing the West Wing. Not even the West Wing Hall, the West Wing, because the Lady Clara Epsom died. And they asked people not to use it, which is, I don't know, weird. Why? Could there be, like, I don't know. Could there be a safe in here? I just want to make sure I am checking even the mundane things for possibilities for interaction. Of course, it might be nothing of the sort, like just something you can go up and like press, of course. It might be something that, even if there is something hidden in the room, it might be like something that has certain conditions attached to it, like you have to have something with you or a certain, you know, use a certain item or something. Okay. Either way, I'm just letting you know, West Wing Hall, I'm suspicious. All right, let's go. Locked, all right. I've met my match. Oh no, I've met 2 of my matches. Okay, fair enough. Back to den, and then finally. Okay, all hallways. These are all great choices in a sense, because this gives us a lot of entries and exits. This is always unlocked. That's nice. And it's always nice to be able to cross between east and west at the midpoint, isn't it? Like that often comes up a lot in terms of saving steps. Secret passage, exciting. And I can choose a room of my choice, but I don't really know why I would do that right now. So I'm going to go corridor. Maybe it's unconventional, but I'm kind of going with my gut a little bit. Cot and coat, yes. I'm cool with that. I'm like now when I come into the rooms, I'm like a dog. I'm like just snuffling around the edges everywhere. Is there something to interact with? What's been going on in this room? All right, nice. Okay, and so one thing I'm really, really interested in, there's a whole range of rooms that have actually come up for drafting even in the past, and yet I've never drafted them. So I want to experiment with more rooms, for sure. But right now, I guess since it's come up, I'm going to go office. It is going to use up both of my gems, and yes, I have done a lot of the things in this room, but there are still things to be had in this room, for absolute sure. And there's still things that I definitely don't understand about this room, apart from the safe even. I'm sure that this is a much more interesting room than I've even like managed to. There we go. So I don't know if it matters, but I now know, I suppose, that the guy that the safe is, so we've got to figure out what date is associated with this safe. There's so many ways to think about this, like from my perspective at the moment. First off, I'm noting that the safe is underneath the bust of this guy, and because I know that this is, I have a little drawing of like a round face with 2 devil horns on the side, and I've got that next to the name Count Isaac Gates, because we saw who these people were in like I've forgotten what it's called, like the Grand Foyer or whatever it was. So we've got Count Isaac Gates. Now that's already giving me pause. This might be nothing, but because I just said that out loud for the first time since decoding the overall blueprint message, I'm now thinking, as far as I'm concerned, I'm 98 or 95 or whatever % sure that the message is, if you count small gates. If you count small gates. If you, and this guy's name is Count Isaac Gates. I don't know what to take from that. That might be nothing, but it doesn't sound like it's nothing, right? Small, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense as a sentence. Count Isaac Gates. I'm Isaac. Count Isaac Gates. If you count small gates, small versions of his bust. That's not him. And also, even if I did, so there's one. That's a small gate, right? Isn't that a small gate? If you count small gates, 8 dates crack 8 safes. I mean, it still doesn't make sense if you count small gates. Okay, even if I did, I just end up with a number of... Oh, hey. Oh, crap, man. This is where my... this is where my knowledge of chess falls to pieces. It's not I don't have much knowledge. Hang on, I'll come back to this. All right, so we've got a small gate here. We've got a small gate here, 2. We've got a small gate here, 3. That's the that is, I was going to say that's the queen, but actually that is J-R-E Yenna. So that appears to be all of the small gates. 3 small gates. But it's not a date. It's not a date. 3. Yeah, of course not, because you would just be able to bust into the safe if it was that. It doesn't make sense. All right. Anyway, for the time being, I'm just going to note office 3 small gates. And make sure I remember that I'm talking about Isaac Gates. There's also one big Isaac Gates. So what is this? Is this king? Is this queen? It's like, right? It's one. Is it one of them? I'm gonna Google. What am I gonna Google? Chess pieces. I don't think. Man, I just need a chess piece names is what I need. I don't know. And I guess a lot of them look different, don't they? Could this be king? I'm going to say it looks like a king more than anything. And that would make a lot of sense because the king is like the big tall one. It seems to have a cross at the top of it. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to say that this is the king. And it's either white or gold. Not sure. It would make sense because I think this is Sinclair's office, right? And maybe he is represented by the king. Okay, all right. If I come back to this problem of the dates, where are we? I'm just taking note. Obviously, yeah, one of the other big ongoing things to figure out is about these levers that open the antechamber. And I can't believe I've actually already managed to find a lever and open one side of the antechamber. So at the moment, my assumption is that what they're saying is that the lever in the courtyard or something like that, one of the green rooms, they mentioned there was one that was broken. And I feel like that's the one that opens the door, the south door into the antechamber. So I feel like what they're saying is we cannot get into the antechamber from the south unless there's a way to fix that lever. But the existing levers, or at least 2 of them, the ones that represent the door to the east and the west, can be opened. And I've managed to find one of them in the Great Hall. And I did open it, unfortunately, at a time when I was completely unable to access that side of the antechamber. But I've done it, and I've seen it, and it's pretty cool. I'm pretty chuffed about having done that, and now I know that that's sort of how that works. So I know that I can find that one again. I don't know how easy it will be, but I know in theory I can do it. So it's finding the other levers and seeing how that works with them as well as is another thing of interest. Okay, I was just noting sort of what square we were on. All right, so let's do a couple of things here. 1, spread gold in the estate. They're just spread in rooms, in a number of rooms currently active. So that's cool. Let's do it now. Like, even though we don't have a ton of rooms, I'll take it. Yep. A number of, yep. Cool, 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 cool. Return to main menu. Run payroll. After running this process, checks will be placed in each of the staff members' rooms. Do I have to have these rooms, though, before doing this? I've so rarely even had any of the staff quarters that let's just run it now. And I guess if we now come across, if we now get to draft any of them, we'll see if it has a check in it. So we'll learn something, you know, if that happens. Cool. This is such a cool terminal. The terminal password. Oh, that's right. Swan song. Cool. Wish it didn't make me do this every single time, but I understand. It's how this game works. I get it. You're not gonna. Yeah, I don't. Well, you do remember some things, don't you? You remember that I've opened the apple orchard each time. Do you remember the foundry is now there each time? But that's cool. I understand. Those are sweet bonuses that I should be and am grateful for. So thank you, game. Thank you. I won't question you again. We'll happily enter Swan Song each time. Wonderful. So the only thing that I'm really... Yep. No, of course not. The only thing that I'm really interested in now, after having spread money everywhere, is can I find a relevant date in here? Like, maybe this is the date for this room, right? So let me write down... let me write down Sat November 7. It could be that this message, you know, is a message to me about how to get into the safe. Special order, we might as well, right? I don't really know what I want. I still haven't managed to try running shoes, so I think I might do that. Approve order. Let's do it, you know, while we've got the opportunity. I don't think that the rest... I mean, November 4, I don't know, it doesn't really seem to be much of a date, right? November 4, I mean, it does come up multiple times, so I don't know. But I reckon if anything, it's possibly some of these dates, but I don't know. They don't really, like, messages from DC Power, you know, Anne Babbage. Let's just write a few down. Okay, so we've got October 7, 1993. The other thing that's really difficult about this is I don't know the format that the dates are meant to be in. It just doesn't seem like that email would be important enough, you know? So we've got October 5th, 1993. These are all going to be recent because they're all about things that are sort of happening recently. Yeah, or ish, I think, right? And then we've got October 8, 1993. There's a lot of... yeah, it just doesn't feel... And then this is just Babbage having a complaint. November 1st. I don't know, man. It doesn't really feel... It doesn't feel like it's anything. Let's make sure we take our money. Okay, now there is this very important thing. I have all of this written down, but I don't know what to do with this. I know that, you know, Queen, Count, Lord, Barons, Major all relate to our people that have busts everywhere, who we know is Lord William Epsom, Baron Thomas Sinclair. The other Baron is Baron Edwin Sinclair, therefore passing of the Barons. The major is Major Nicholas Key. Major Nicholas Key the Fourth. An awesome looking beard and a weird name with Key the Fourth in it, which is just sus. The Count is Count Isaac Gates. The Queen is JRENR, which sounds like the letters JRENR, and I've already played around with that somewhat. Yeah, man, it's I don't know what to do with that just yet. Here we go. The antechamber lever is in the greenhouse is broken again. I don't think there is enough time to put in another work order before Simon arrives, so just make sure the west and east levers are operational. Again, I note that west and east are, lowercase and uppercase, which seems suspicious. And greenhouse, I'm just going to make sure I actually get a proper note about this. Broken lever. The other thing just to step back for a tick is that we've seen so many notes that have actually shown us, and in part it's a cute touch. People were preparing for my visit. People are excited for my visit. People have been setting up the puzzles and refreshing things, etc., for my visit. It's a cute, really nice touch. But does it also have another meaning? I'm wondering. And is that meaning that in some cases people were rushed and actually didn't have enough time to do certain things? And does that have consequences? Yet another thing I'm wondering about, but I don't know what to do with that thought. Yeah, it's just something one of the many millions of things floating around in my mind. Now, if anything, this picture strikes me as potentially being the thing that could relate to the date for the safe. The reason I say that is because the one safe combination that I feel I have a very strong feeling about is in the boudoir. The first safe I came across, I didn't know how to crack it then, but in hindsight, now that I'm thinking about dates cracking 8 safes, when I thought about the boudoir again, I was like, oh my God, it has a picture of that room in Christmas time. And I mentioned this, I think, when I was in the study. I tried, the like 1225 and 2512 on that safe. So I cannot wait to get the boudoir again and try it in that room. So that makes me think that maybe they give hints for the safes in each room. And rather than like finding an explicit date somewhere, like in this terminal or something, maybe it's like somewhere a date is suggested. I don't know. Or maybe they're all totally different. Maybe you find the dates in totally different ways. But I don't know how to associate this with a date. I do not. It just seems to be our mum, who is his niece, Herbert's niece. She's standing in front of the fountain. She has a book and I think a pen or a very early Victorian iPhone. And the mountain is conspicuously in the background. But I don't know how to turn that into a date. I don't know how to associate any of that with a date. Small gates. Man, I was really hoping I would get in here and kind of figure it out. But I ain't figured nothing out. But let's just make sure, that we're being observant. And then we've got this. This could relate to the date. I think that this is our grand uncle and our grand aunt, the lady Claire Epson and Herbertus Sinclair, probably, most likely when they were younger. But I don't know, actually. Maybe it's our grandparents mother. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking. I don't know if this woman that we've seen several pictures of with the, with the mole above her lip is the same as the other pictures of the woman that we've seen who seems very similar but doesn't have a mole above her lip. And I've wondered, is one the grand aunt and is one her daughter? You know, our mother's mother, if I'm thinking about it right. I don't know. I might just have to leave this one for now. And I just don't, like, I don't want to give up prematurely, but I don't think any of these email dates, are going to be this. Just seems, and there are so many, because I don't know what the format of the data is going to be. I just don't know. Like, if the apple orchard is one, that was 4 numbers. If Christmas, if I'm right about the boudoir being Christmas, maybe it's 1225 or 2512, and that would also be 4 numbers. So what if I try just the day and month combo, November 1st, 11-1. But then again, maybe what it is this is the problem, right? Is it 01, 11? Oh, I don't even know if I just did that twice. 1, 1, 1. Is it 1, 1, 0, 1? There's just too much. There's too many. Even with only 4 numbers and knowing that it's a date, it could be entered in multiple different ways there. So I don't think I have enough information to really sit there and try things that I really have actually no. I should have gone the other way. Whoops. That I really have no faith. I just don't suspect any of those are the dates. It just doesn't feel right. Oh no. And on that note, we're going to have to leave this episode here because once again, we are in the midst of a day that went much, much longer than I expected. And, due to the nature of the way Blueprints works, I'm going to have to chop this episode up here. So there is much more coming to day 11, many more puzzles confronted, and many more realizations had. So look forward to the next episode, but thank you so much for joining for this one, and I will see you there. Bye-bye.